So Tua is back on the field. Boy, oh boy, is that a good blessing to see. And I'm just so happy because we don't know at that time being when Tua got that concussion, when he got slammed downright, we didn't know whether he was even going to put a helmet back on or even set back on the field. I mean, there's been cases of players getting concussions or getting head and neck injuries that don't go back on the field at all whatsoever. I could name one, for example, Ryan Shazier. Steeler fans, trust me, as much as I know that was a scary sighting, I think a lot of fans or anybody that watched the game got sort of the same feeling watching that play happen. Just seeing Tua's fingers like that was pretty scary if you ask me. But for the most part, one thing that I will clear out, I am a firm believer of Mike McDaniel. I think he had no intention to put Tua in harm's way. I think the momentum that we had going, I mean, when Tua came back against the Bills, I thought to myself too, I'm like, oh, okay, I mean, hey, I want Tua back, but I didn't really think much of it, so shame on me for that. You guys can definitely throw a little bit of shade on that, but for the most part, I didn't think it was that serious up until the point when the Bengals game happened. I mean, if he got cleared to play, he got cleared to play, right? But then again, many people might say Mike McDaniel should have never let him. Look, at the end of the day, I'm sure if Tua told McDaniel, I'm not feeling good or I'm just not feeling it, for the most part, McDaniel would never have forced him to play. But you know what? It's a good sighting to see Tua back on the field like this. Just, getting some reps in. We don't know when he might play. If he might not play this year at all, who knows? But at the end of the day, I'm just happy to see him doing good for his personal well-being. Even Teddy Bridgewater that got the first play of scrimmage against the Jets, Teddy got, again, play action roll. I hate play actions at the end zone when you're in your own end zone because there's just no time and space. So unfortunately, but fortunately, Tua, again, is looking a lot better from the previous week, right? But for the most part, I'm hoping that things turn out to be good. And yeah, so let me know your guys' thoughts. Do you guys think Tua should come back and play this year, or should he just sit out completely and possibly make a comeback next year, I guess? I mean, that's the brutal truth of this sport. You're going to get hit pretty hard. There's been a lot of players as well I've been seeing around the NFL. I think it was the Lions, one of their wide receivers kind of just stumbled or something like that. I mean, it's just very scary. You never know. But for the most part, that's just football. So that's just what comes with the game. That's the beauty of the beast. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I got some Dolphins gameplay just to show a little bit of love. I'm always going to show Dolphin love to my channel. But I definitely bring videos or just content around the NFL. So for the most part, hope you guys enjoy it. And let's get this Dolphin gameplay rolling.
Boy, oh boy, this is one of my longest videos in quite some time, over 12 minutes and plus. And all I gotta say is, I always say this when I have good games, but all my games are good, right? I'm just playing right here off the bat. Jerome Baker ends up sacking Jalen Hurts. This video right here is pretty long for the simple reason that it's honestly one of my best gameplays I brought in some time. And check out this play right here. Oh my goodness, Devonta Smith ends up getting hit. But also, really appreciate it once again if you guys go and leave a like and subscribe. And how about them Eagles? They end up beating Cooper Rush and them Dallas Cowboys, being the only team that's undefeated so far. And all I really can tell you is congrats, Eagle fans. I feel like after that Super Bowl win with Nick Foles, things didn't necessarily look too bright. I mean, Carson Wentz wasn't looking as good. But you know what? At the end of the day, drafting new quarterbacks and moving on from stuff like that really helps you out a lot. But you know what also helps us out a lot? Having Tua on the starting lineup, and he might come back versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the intro video wasn't necessarily up to date, so that's why I didn't really have any information. It just been a little, I'd say I've been editing this video for quite some time now, for a couple weeks, maybe like a week or two. But for the most part, it is what it is. We end up getting a touchdown right here by Raheem Mostert. And today, man, we lost against the Minnesota Vikings. Seeing Jalen Waddle fumble that conversion that we got, and quite possibly could have been the game-winning drive. It sucks, man. It got me to the heart. But you know what? At the end of the day, I think Waddle has done so much more for us than me to even discredit him, because it sucked. It did sting, okay? I'm not gonna lie to you, but for the most part, there were so many plays on that. And right here, this is what we don't gotta see. There was so many injuries. If you guys watched that Vikings game, there was over 5, I think, holding calls, illegal formation calls on this play and this drive specifically, like on the second drive, I think. And Skylar Thompson, I don't know. Look, the bottom line is, I'm not going to go over that game, but the bottom line is we took a loss, a very unfortunate loss. But right here, we end up getting a pick with Eric Rowe. And just a FYI or information, Eric Rowe actually used to play for the Philadelphia Eagles. You guys remember those days? He also played with the Patriots. A pretty good safety, I would say, but has kind of lost his touch over time. And check out Tua Tagovailoa. And I might get a lot of criticism. I might get some hate because I'm saying it's okay for Tua to come back. But to be honest, at this point, if he's clear to play and he wants to come back in, so be it, man. I mean, I don't know what to really tell you. It's not like I could go on the field and tell Mike McDaniels, like, hey, do not put him in. And right here, Jalen Hurts ends up throwing another interception. Okay, now check this out. At this point, does it look like it could be an automatic win? Well, yes and no. I mean, you never want to count an opponent out. But at the same time, you also don't want to tell yourself like, hey, I'm going to give him a comeback, right? That is not the case whatsoever. And check out this play right here. Tyreek Hill, the bobbled catch ends up being a touchdown. I think that's James Bradbury on the coverage right there. But regardless of who's covering Tyreek Hill, that is a touchdown. Let's go. Offense is playing pretty amazing if you were to ask me. Defense is playing pretty amazing if you were to ask me. And check out Hurts. This game isn't over, okay? There's still the second half to play. But you know what? At the end of the day, my whole momentum and my mindset is, let's just keep doing what we're doing. Applying pressure, being coverage, doing whatever we got to do. But the Eagles aren't shy away from having their own superstars. Check this out right here. A.J. Brown, just another, in real life, man, he's been going off crazy. Just an incredible, I'd say, wide receiver and playmaker in general. Kind of reminds me of a young Julio Jones. I feel like over time he will develop into that leadership. But for the most part, at this point with him, especially in his young career, I would say he's just balling. But there's going to be a point in time with A.J. Brown that he's going to be more of a leader and a mentor instead of a superstar player. That's why I feel the direction he's heading towards. But enough of that. We're heading into the end of the second, or the end of the first half. Hurts ends up throwing it up and it is incomplete. It's a 3-possession game. My opponent ended up going for the 2-point conversion, which was completely unnecessary. I don't know why people go for the 2. And for the first time in many years, I would say I'm finally blitzing Hurts. He ends up rolling out and Hurts throws it up. Jerome Baker in coverages. What are we doing? Miles Sanders completely mosses him. I don't know. He just completely had an error right there. And right there, Holland ends up getting the error. He gets completely stiff-armed. And Miles Sanders, showing why he's that dog. He's him. You know when them players say I'm him? Well, he's him because he ends up mossing Jerome Baker. But you know what? My mindset right now is, let's not panic. Let's go ahead and throw it up to Tyreek, the Speedster Hill, which if I'm not correct or if I'm wrong, if I'm mistaken, he ends up leading the NFL in receiving yards. I mean, we already knew that he was going to be that speedster player. All we had to do is make sure that he was going to be continuing to do what he does, regardless if it was Patrick Mahomes or not. And Tua, no! Oh my goodness, man. What am I doing? I'm just choking this game away like I said to you guys. This game is long from being over. He ends up getting an INT. Tua, what was I doing right there? The Eagles defense is playing pretty solid. Hurts has another opportunity right here. And Gallup, I think the tight end right there, I be pronouncing these names wrong a lot of times. But your boy Gallup, the tight end, ends up getting a long conversion. Defense, we got to get a stop right here. It's third quarter. Come on, Hurts is rolling out, trying to find someone open. And the Slim Reaper, oh my goodness, that was a complete dot. Devonta Smith, man, ends up making that great catch. Just another good product of being a wide receiver that, see, a lot of times these NCAA wide receivers come into the NFL, you know, they the first rounders, they got the speed, they got the 40-yard dash. I don't care about none of that. If they're producing numbers in the NFL and if they're showing up for what they're meant to be, then so be it. But so be it right here, because Penguin, the Waddle, ends up getting the first down. You guys see it's the fourth quarter. Offense, let's not choke this away. All we have to do is play smart. Do not throw an interception to her or do not take a sack to her. And check this out. Oh my goodness, Slay. Darius Slay. I'll give you one thing about Slay, Eagle fans. He is a top 5 corner for the simple reason that when he came from the Detroit Lions, I don't know what happened. Was it because they didn't want to pay him? Was it because his contract was already ending and they felt like moving on from him? Especially getting Jeff Okudah? I don't know, but the bottom line is Darius Slay is a top 5 corner in my honest opinion. And forget the field goal. We're going for the touchdown. Tua snaps it, throws it to Mike Gesicki. He ends up scoring the touchdown. And just like that, we are up. So at this point, would you say the game's over? Don't necessarily count us out yet. Don't close the door just yet. Because again, like I always say this, the game ain't over till the clock hits 0. And check this out. Hurts throws it up and Holland ends up getting the INT. Let's get it. I think that's his second of the game. So yeah, I think the game's over. I mean, if you made it to this point of the video, I really appreciate that. But you know what? Like I said, the game has not hit 0 yet, okay? Even in real life, when my Dolphins are getting blown out, I'm still watching the game regardless of the outcome, right? But right here, Raheem Mostert ends up scoring the touchdown, hurtling into the end zone, doing the nay-nay. Oh my goodness. EA, get rid of these interceptions. Get rid of these celebrations. They are outdated. I don't know what's going on with them, but Hurts. It's just a 2-possession game, a 2-touchdown game. It's not over just yet. And right here, I'm using Eric Rowe. And Watkins, the wide receiver from the Eagles, ends up getting this long touchdown like me. Oh my goodness, what was that? But you know what? My opponent, he does something that's clearly obvious. He ends up going onside kick formation. We're in onside kick formation. We got Hill right there. We have our starting receiving core. All we have to do is... we just choked. We end up giving up the onside kick. That is pretty embarrassing if you ask me. This game is far from being over. 3rd and 10. Jalen Hurts with 40+ seconds left. 2 timeouts. Hurts throws it up to Devonta Smith and no Xavier Howard. That's a good matchup, okay? That is not a mismatch whatsoever. But Hurts ends up connecting with Devonta Smith, man. And what is my defense doing? We can't give this touchdown up. Come on, all we have to do is play smart. Zone coverage, blitz, QB spy. We know that Hurts can run. We do not want to allow that to happen. Offense, they did their job. Defense, we got to do our job now. We got the players right here. But you know what? I don't know, man. Hurts snaps it, rolls out. The QB contain works out in our favor, and he ends up getting sacked. But wait just a minute now. It's one more play. Hurts has to hurry up. Get something going right here. The clock hits 1. It's 0. The final play of the game. Let's go. Defense ends up making a stop. Xavier Howard with the tackle, breaking that pass up. Let's go. That is a W. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Look, at the end of the day, Eagle fans, you guys are still undefeated. This game does not take anything away whatsoever. Just really hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay. Really enjoyed this one. I'm over here bumping my music. And that's all I really do when I play these games. I enjoy these as well. Mike McDaniel, hey, coach, rookie coach, do your thing. You got to see Hurts. You got to see the face in him. He's definitely hurt, but he's coming back for a vengeance.